of getting the speed on decoding, but then again, a lot of that speed will naturally come towards trying to keep the hunter preoccupied, try to keep these numbers as healthy as possible towards the start. And you know what, Ziora? Let's go ahead and get into it. First half of round number 1, second match, final match of the day before we head into the final day of playoffs, ladies and gents. Let's get this action going as this Bonbon is on the hunt.
On the hunt for Hatari here, and you have to take note, Hatari has been very known for his good kiting skills as well as his stunning skills. And with these bombs coming in from Miyako, really trying to place Hatari in a position wherein he can be cornered by just to apply some chip damage. But right now, look at this, just using his footballs here to potentially try to distance himself away from Miyako. And you know, he's doing a really good job because look at this, the other members are given the opportunity to go and decode.
Yeah, good shot on Hatari, by the way. Able to keep a sizable amount of distance. Didn't need to expend a few resources to execute that ring around, but did allow just enough of a time for this setup coming in from the Priestess. Looks like Yako gonna make sure to make the proactive move to take down the portal. Doesn't want any other survivor to maximize that. Now, big question is, will Yako turn towards his initial target, or will he try to sniff out somebody else? It looks like Hatari will still be the target here, but take note, that's only a fourth of a hit that Hatari has taken thus far. And the beautiful thing about what Hatari's been doing amidst this kite is that manages to turn corners just at the right time, wherein it makes it tricky for Yako to try to angle the linear hits on these bombs. It will just naturally come, I feel, for Yako to just close in distance. As we're seeing right now, finally gets that hit. Patience is a virtue. Took a bit of a while. Hatari doing a good job at trying to grant some leeway for the rest of the team to work on those ciphers, but can't really deny it. There's still a bit of a way to go. Still looking fairly balanced between both sides here. Fair pacing between both IVS as well as GH.
Yes, patience is a virtue, as you mentioned here, and Yako really demonstrated that right now. And we do see here that he is really having that patience in terms of placing these bombs, right? And you can see how he really wants to secure Hatari right here in the very early phases of the game, because he does not want it to be tedious. But look at that, the save is going to happen with that tight turner. He was able to escape. Again, another pallet vaulting coming in from Hatari here, and was able to escape in the brink of time. But take note, it only needs one chip damage for him to be taken down.
Yeah, timing is everything. Hatari making the turn just right at the right time. However, as soon as that pallet drops, unfortunately wasn't able to dodge around Yako, and Yako will just gladly take us forward, strap him for a second time on that rocket chair, but still halfway to go, so that's still time bought out here for GH. A good consolation that they were able to salvage the forward before it could go past the halfway mark on that chair during the first time around.
Yes, but this is the thing that I was a bit worried about during our prediction, is that yes, Yako will be in time with all of these chip damages, but it gave a lot of space for the other members to basically go into the code. And with that being said, we're already down to 2 ciphers here, and Yako here is already sensing the presence of Skyfall. They will be letting go of Hatari here, but Skyfall is the one to take the kiting session in play. So Yako here also doing his very best to place those bombs in a timely manner wherein it can go towards his favor. But then again, with all of these terrains around, it's going to be quite tricky. Yako needs to really contain Skyfall in a corner. Just like this though, but taking that damage by a half. Oh, actually make it 75%, and he will be using his elbow pads to gain some distance. But this is basically the potential play of Skyfall. Maybe going in towards the tram. There you go.
Looks like gonna be making the trip potentially, but Yako says, you know what, I'm not going to be waiting around anytime soon. But beautiful timing from the entomologist, leaving some of those speeds to keep Yako a bit preoccupied, but still that's not going to be thwarting him from getting the chase. And it will be Captain Kun that will be the apple of the eye of this Bonbon, going straight up the stairs. Looks like going to go heavy in on the kite, but Yako not biting just yet. I think at this point in time, Yako realizing with the amount of time that he was preoccupied with Hatari gave so much room for GH to prep these ciphers. So Yako just really tried to take into account pressuring these survivors just so that they don't get the last pop on that cipher that easily.
Yes, and Yaku here basically needs to go in towards that said cipher to basically guard it. But I'm pretty sure if he is to focus on one cipher, the others may go and invest on another one, because basically that's the play. You do not want to be idle in a certain area, because Yaku here really knows how to keep up his pace. And right now,
Yes.
speaking of pace, he's already having sights of Skyfall here, who unfortunately the healing progress was not complete, so he was not fully healed by Little Boy.
Yes. And take note, Yako gets lucky, manages to find Skyfall. Unfortunately for Skyfall, since he was already at 3/4, that last bomb hit not going to give him as much running distance to establishing distance between himself as well as this hunter, and that will be rocket chair duty for this mercenary. First chair, in which case, so that's still a lot of breathing room here for GH. They can easily go for that rescue into a cipher pop should they be able to time things correctly. And what I'd also like to put into factor is, before that, wait a minute, GH, looks like they're gonna go straight in for the save. Little Boy, beautiful pull right there into the save onto Skyfall, and that will be it, ladies and gents. That will be the pop right there. Question is, how healthy can GH make it out in terms of numbers? 3 still up, but at this point in time, we usually see at least 2 survivors make it out alive. It's always that tricky point. Once this hunter manages to laser focus on a target in the midst of this, it's almost gonna be a sacrifice, but let's see if Skyfall can defy those odds.
Definitely, he would want to kite as near as the dungeon as possible, so that other than they will be given time to open the gate, he will have the opportunity to escape. So that's going to be a chip damage here. That's 75% injury. So basically, he's just waiting, but that's going to be a blink and hit for Yaku right here. Will he make it to the crawl? I don't think so, but that's going to be a tie to start off our day.
Yes, a tie indeed, Seora. Looks like both teams managing to play it off safer here. So all said and done, we're gonna be
really excited how their game styles are going to be demonstrated here, because you mentioned this is lower bracket. This is like their tournament spot is at stake. And speaking of that, let's go ahead in towards our round 1, a second half between GH and IVS.
Yes, go Speed Racer, go. And where does that speed lead him to? It is gonna be Wolfie. Wolfie says, you know what, I'm out of here. Beautiful transition, by the way, coming in from Zalcon, getting that stun just to try to delay GodJ a bit more, but still not as solid distance established just yet. But there you go, goes straight into the portal once again. As you can see, it's going to be a ring around the rosy that Wolfie is going to be able to pull off here. Big question is, how long can Wolfie keep this up? Because no more transitions can happen this time around. It does seem like Wolfie instead will try to play around structure here. Not a bad way to go. Gonna make it tricky for GodJ to try to go for the twisting turns, but luckily for GodJ, does manage to land a hit. So it's all a matter of Wolfie needing to make sure that she dodges. But GodJ, beautiful hit right there. Manages to down Wolfie, but still decent start here for IVS. Zalcon coming in from the distance, decides to just dash away. A little bit of a distraction to delay GodJ from getting the pickup, but Zalcon just around the corner, gonna try to come in for that stun, and beautiful timing right there. Wolfie is back on the run, but falls once again, but still great effort here from IVS. Every second counts, time has been bought. There you go, once again, Zalcon just coming in with the crowd control, and again, a beautiful salvage onto Wolfie as Wolfie's back on the run. But you know what? GodJ says, I have had enough. I am going for you this time, Zalcon.
Yes, and the spikes are out right here at Akuno, and I love it when I'm proven wrong, because I did mention that the stuns may be denied, but Zalcon here really did it, not once, but twice. And as you mentioned, he doesn't want any more of these stuns, and that's why he is going to transition from the Priestess to the forward instead. So he will be using his wheel form once again to try and hunt for Wolfie, but will be spotting out the bot right here. Wolfie, I guess he's going to like take that away off the map pretty soon. But right now, I think he wants to secure Zalcon here. He does not want Zalcon to basically roam around the map anymore. So we see Cardona here. He goes out from the burrow state. Will be going for the rescue. Nice tide turner coming in from Cardona right now. And we do see that he will be using the trap, but not enough to catch on to Zalcon. Uses the portal here. Not going to be stunned by it. Will be taken by the spikes. Let's see how far this goes. I think he's just going to, really waste time as much as possible before the tide turner runs out here.
Yes, and Zalcon just trying to go over and back, but unfortunately still within range for GodJ to get that next takedown. But the beautiful thing here for IVS is that with this second chair for the forward, luckily didn't reach the first half. There's still a lot that IVS can do. Looks like the doll kind of in the vicinity will suffer a hit from GodJ, but you know what? All is well. Big question is, can IVS, Wolfie is in the vicinity, can Wolfie go for the save? GodJ kind of makes a turnaround. There you go. Wolfie manages to get the salvage onto Zalcon. Is back on the run. Portal will come in. Zalcon needs to try to establish distance. So beautiful. Trying to play around Stucker here. Gonna manage to try to duck and weave. Make it a bit tricky here for GodJ to land the hit, but how long can Zalcon keep this up? Goes over and down. Zalcon goes, but still plenty of time bought out once again here for IVS. Zalcon leaving a beautiful legacy for IVS in the terms of progress on these ciphers. Look at this, ladies and gents. 3 of them already more than halfway. It's all a matter of timing here for IVS at this point. But with Zalcon down, is it possible for them to get all 3 survivors out? It's gonna be tricky, Siora.
Definitely, and right now we do see the quick transition of GodJ after taking down Zalcon to Cardona. He wants to deny this rescue capabilities that will happen later on, because GodJ knows that the vaulting speed coming in from the mechanic, it could be quite slow, so he can take advantage of that. So right now we do see Cardona here being chased, but I think GodJ will just transition to Wolfie instead. Careful with the tram right there. Hello to you. And right now he does spot out Wolfie in the vicinity using the portals inside. He's not going to be stunned in the breaking in the wheel form, so this could be the potential knockdown that can come from GodJ. And the trap was so beautiful here, not even having the time to go for the potential stun.
Yes, Wolfie denied any extended kiting there, unfortunately. Trying to go for that pallet trap, but the trap in the right place at the right time, just beautifully placed there by GodJ. But GodJ, of course, with Wolfie comfortably chaired, gonna try to look at other members, try to push for pressure elsewhere across the map, and finally, for the first time, GodJ gonna be meeting up with one of the more desirable picks in the mechanic, but the damage has been done, ladies and gents. So much progress on that cipher, already near the popping, but look at that, the trap will manage to get the connect, and down that mechanic will go, but beautiful timing on the pop of that cipher still. Mechanic can potentially go for the salvage onto the priestess, but no, actually, distance will simply be established. It looks like IVS. Ooh, okay. Wait a minute. Gravekeeper still in the vicinity. Very, very healthy, but GodJ just gonna speed on through and manages to get a whiff of this Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper needs to try to keep this stanch on move because it's looking very dangerous. Are they gonna try to get the salvage onto Wolfie? Time is ticking, and Wolfie is gonna be out of here any second. I think at this point in time, Gravekeeper might have to give that up.
Yes, indeed, and now it is on for Cardona to basically try and make his way towards the dungeon, but I think it's quite a distance for him to for her to reach that. And right now he's just basically utilizing all the terrains possible just to deny any or hit that way combat. But look at that, the hit is going to cut it in, and with this Articuno, it's a 3-1 in favor of
Oh my goodness. A win for Stronger Than Ever. Probably, without a doubt, this is probably the best form we've seen IVS in yet. Now, big question is, like the question that we presented to round from, it's both short-term and long-term. Can they manage to pull it off into a finish? We'll find out, ladies and gents, because it's game time. Round number 2, first half. IVS on the survivor side and GH on the hunter side. GodJ is on the prowl. Question is, will he find luck into finding the decent first pickup? And it will be the perfect.
Yes, and that was actually good timing of Cardona from the euphoric state right here. But GodJ really knows how to meet the eye of his prey right now. So again, another one to be used here, waiting for that moment to come back. He's not gonna go for it, but look at this. With the help of the priestess coming in from Wolfie, there goes your exit getaway. But let's see if the transition, oh yes, there is gonna be a change of faith for God J here. Does not want the priestess to go for the help and is now already with the on tails of Wolfie.
Yeah, instant transition right there coming in from God J, able to propel them into the first hit onto the priestess. This is I'd say a very good transition for Wolfie in which case, but Wolfie trying to last out, but there you have it. This sculptor didn't want any of it anymore. Just gonna blink straight in towards that final hit, which will allow God J to bring this priestess for his first chair. And like I said, this is probably one of the optimal picks that God J would want to take care of earlier on, because Wolfie could provide such a great setup to make the rest of IVS slippery. By eliminating that, it's going to be a little bit more vanilla in terms of these chases. You know, not needing to worry about suddenly transversing from point A from one side of the map to point B on some other side because of the priestess setup. So it's a good start out here. Big question is IVS going to go for the salvage here onto Wolfie? Like we said, they want to try to get as many points off of this second round as possible.
See, I love it how God J is just using the chisels to provide information, so at least he has already an idea to where they are located at. So I'm pretty sure they will be letting go of Wolfie at this point because, again, map distance, they're too far off. Second of all, God J is this is the 3-in-1 combination that he has. He can camp at the same time, can poke them in a fair distance. So because Wolfie is already out of the picture, it denies that exit passageway that can come from IVS right now. So best next target would probably be Kurodona right here, because not other than you don't want Zhao Khan to be progressing here, but Kurodona is again really doing wonders with the perfumer. And just take note though, chip damages are already happening using the euphoric state. That's gonna be used right now, and that was actually amazing from Kurodona. But let's see up to what extent can Kurodona hold this off, because we are 2 ciphers down remaining, so they're very focused right here. But that's gonna be a knockdown once again from God J.
Yes, will be the take of the second survivor for God J, but still, the plus for IVS in all of this is that they were able to let the mechanic wreak havoc once again. So there was no point in time where IVS lost out on getting the setup that they need. Again, it's that good start that we've been seeing from IVS, even from round 1. It's a matter of whether or not the ending will be just as good as the setup that they have, and it's gonna come down to whether or not they can last this out. We do see the perfumer up and kicking once again, and this mechanic just 1/4 of a hit away from being taken down as well. So tricky part right here is that there's damage on 2 survivors that they're gonna need to account for. So might want to take some time to regroup, because they already have a good start on those ciphers. They want to at least try to keep up the health, but not with this amount of pressure coming in onto the survivors. But good thing for IVS, it will be Zhao Khan that will be the apple of the eye of this hunter this time around.
Yes, and we do see the mechanic now is given some space to at least go for the decode, but right now Zhao Khan is doing a great job in utilizing the graveyard here just to kite away. Oh, that's gonna be a beautiful stun coming in from Zhao Khan. And right now, look at that plays. Look at that bait that may come from them. Take note that God J does have the blink, so at any time he may be able to use it. That's gonna be beautiful side away there coming in from God J. Will be applying hit towards Zhao Khan, and I think the ciphers are almost primed right here, so just have to wait for Zhao Khan to, potentially be knocked down here.
Yes, but there you have it, folks. That's gonna be the last pop. All 5 ciphers have been done. Now it's all on IVS. They already have all the right ingredients. Can they bake this into the perfect pie of points out of this first half? We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. Managed to go. That's going to be the transition coming in from God J. Will be turning to the mechanic. Just one more hit that God J needs. Now, big question, can this mechanic buy enough time just so that the rest of the team can make it out of that XP, get a better amount of points than they did from round one? It's looking very feasible for IVS because this mechanic buying so much time. God J having a tricky time trying to figure out where this mechanic will eventually transition to. It looks like, you know what? This mechanic has had enough. Going to transition to a different place this time around. That's going to be the landing of a hit. And finally, with enough patience, God J manages to get the mechanic, but at what cost? That's going to be 2 survivors making it out of the game for IVS. And there you have it, folks. IVS coming off with better results for their survivors as it ends in a 2-2.
That's going to be a tie for...
Not going to be that hard for Pencil to try to seek out targets on a map size like this if you take that into account. But you know what? Survivors beating their way through. You know what that means, folks. It is game time. Second round, second half. It's all about GH trying to get a 3-1 that'll ultimately lead them into further on in the bracket. Or it's going to be IVS, maybe, just maybe. Pencil, a lot is on his shoulders to pull it into a round 3. We'll find out as we head on into the church.
Liking the skin, by the way. That was a very nice peeper coming in from Pencil, so he has an idea to where Skyfall's going to be at. So a quick burrow state right here. He is going to go up and above, and right now he's just going to use this terrains and utilize them to go for the kite. So right now I love the jukes, and that was a very nice owl coming in from Captain Toon. So it all goes with the jukes right here. Skyfall doing a pretty good job in containing the hunter, because right now he is making wonders here with the terrains available. So again, dropping down into a bird state right here, and wow, really kiting all these statues that Pencil is trying to give it to him. So that's going to be hit, but still not enough to go and let him be injured. So right now, this is a great transition here. And notice how Skyfall is just kiting away from the other members. So they're just giving a lot of time for them to decode.
Yeah, take note, that was a lot of resources that GH had to exhaust from the get-go. So they're really banking on Skyfall to be the survivor that buys as much time as possible for the rest of GH. But you know what? It's been working so far. I think what GH ultimately needs to worry about as to how it might affect their late game, but nonetheless, as far as what they're looking to accomplish, still a good start. Tried to deter Hatari from getting a stun in. That does put Pencil in a position where he has to think twice before picking up Skyfall, and in this case, Pencil just gonna make the proactive move to take down some
basement
pallets first. But will Hatari try to jump into the stun? Looks like Hatari already making way through, but look at that. Pencil decides to put down Skyfall, getting the premonition of Hatari potentially coming in. Now, big question is...
That's definitely an interesting call from Pencil back there, and really good timing of the drop, because it's very near right here, but the Ilan going to stun Pencil right here and use his statues. A lot of resources, but there goes the save right here. So let's see, I think Skyfall will be knocked down. Last Hyper is going to be triggered right here, and I think body block for Hatari is going to happen right now. So I think they might let go of Green Keeper at this point, because, well, basically he will be knocked out anytime soon. But look at the ciphers that are happening, Articuno. They are really on rampant across the board.
Yeah, GH trying to go full throttle on these ciphers here. Doesn't want to waste any time whatsoever. Breathing. The consolation for GH at this point in time is that this, they're not losing out on Skyfall just yet. So we'll have plenty of time to work with. Big question is what they're going to try to salvage Skyfall this time around. But pressure is coming on from Pencil. It tries to deter the rest of GH from trying to get the pickup, but is Little Boy gonna make it in time? He's making a mad dash to try to get that rescue onto Skyfall, and might actually make it. Not to time that rescue correctly, but no, actually misses out on that window. Sayonara Skyfall, and it will be Little Boy this time around. That'll be in a very tricky situation. Tries to go for the salvage, doesn't work out. Now the big tricky part here is that he is now the target for Pencil.
Alright, but look at this though. 2 ciphers remaining for the side of GH here. And Little Boy needs to make wonders in terms of these kiting sessions. So he is going to be injured with top of that chip damage here. And that's 75%. Only one more hit. He will be knocked down. But right now, we do see a Pencil here. May try to go for the Peeper here because he knows that Cypher is almost done. But another Cypher in the other side of the map is finished. So they just need one more. So let's see how things are going to go. They're quite dispersed in the area. So Captain Kun here may try to lure himself in against Pencil. So the kiting session may go on. But Pencil, knowing this, he will just go maybe on a different target right now.
Yeah, this is very tricky for GH. They already had that initial setup on that life Cypher, but trust and believe that Pencil of IVS can guard that with his life. Not going to make it easy whatsoever for GH to have access to that now. Big question is how GH is going to be responding, because it was that last Cypher that they were banking on, but Yautza, that is going to be tricky. Little boy actually falls. Good scout out coming in from Pencil right there, so GH gonna have to be very careful.
Indeed, and because that Cypher at that 84% was guarded by Pencil, they need to invest into another Cypher if they want to work this way around. But looking at this, because Pencil goes towards Little Boy, I think they are going to make their way in towards that said Cypher, which is almost done. So right now, Pencil will be placing Little Boy down here in towards this chair. And I think one of them may go for the Savior, because if they want to secure it, they gotta win it. And look at this, Hatari will be taking some chip damages here from the statues with help of the chisel, and that's 75% of a damage. So he just needs one more hit before Hatari goes, and take out the Cypher isn't primed just yet.
Yes, now here's the tricky part right here. Pencil, perfect position right here, because there's two ways that GH can lose out here. Sure, you're able to work freely on that Cypher, but at the same time, Pencil find the prime target in Hatari. Looks like they will get the pop on that Cypher now. Captain Kun already making a mad dash for Little Boy, but Pencil, a proactive move right there to get the teleport in to try to cancel out that rescue from Captain Kun. So good decision making here coming in from the Sculptor. Now, big question is, looks like Captain Kun honestly gonna try to go for that rescue. Looks like he might have to call it quits for now and just let this postman skyrocket out. That's two members remaining here for GH. You know what that means, folks? It's a guaranteed round 3 that IVS has managed to accomplish. Now, can they at least wrap this up into getting not just a tie, but more points to catch up to GH? We'll find out, folks.
Definitely. Look at that chisel usage by Pencil here, really wanting to contain and corner out Hatari. Because take note, we do see Captain Kun already opening the other side of the gate, and Hatari here has two options: either kite away to go to the dungeon, or kite away to go in towards that other side of the gate. But with that being said, look at that. He was able to apply damage once again against Hatari here. He's making his way. He's running through and through. But the gate is already open, so is that door. But let us see if he's gonna make it more and more. Captain Kun here may try to go for it, but he is gonna take the hit. But unfortunately, the forward is knocked down. Can this be a potential sweep that's coming from Pencil right now? Owl will be used. That's gonna be a bolt. But right now, with the help of the Owl, is not going to get any further. And looks like they were. Pencil here was able to get a 41.
Wow, there you have it, folks. Just like that. Like we said, don't count out IVS just yet. It needs to start pulling in a bit more of that weight for the team, just so that it's not going to come to a point where points are going to rest a lot into how Godjoy plays. But you know what? We'll see how it plays out, because, ladies and gents, it is game time. Round number 3 of the first half. GH fighting for their lives on the Survivor side, along with Pencil. Just so much mojo, so much confidence going into this after a 3-1 in the second round. Can he pull it off again? Can he get some hefty points? Can he pull in further? We'll find out. But one thing's for sure, early on, Gravekeeper gonna suffer first hit already.
That was actually fast for Pencil right here, and manages to spot out another one as well. I'm assuming this is the bot that comes from the mechanic. So, ooh, okay, not wanting to be destroyed that easily. So we'll be running to the depth and we'll be destroyed now. But do you think that bought enough time for the prisoner though? Let us see. So right now we do see on the lower left side of our screen that Hatari is healing Skyfall here, which is actually a good call because you want to prolong your kiting or your control against Pencil. But look at this though, Pencil already on the way with the main body. Was able to heal successfully though. But there goes the leech coming in from Pencil.
Yeah, good call on GH, in which case to make sure that they get Skyfall back into Thulana, because that just means that they're buying so much more time for the team. Take note, there's still a lot of groundwork that Pencil needs to accomplish in order to control this game. A lot of that breathing room that Pencil will get is when he manages to send his first survivor back to the matter. But with all 4 members, it's just still a lot more that you have to account for. Even if you have like technically 2 bodies that are active on the field.
And right now, speaking of bodies, Pencil's main body already spot out Little Boy. So because of this is going to be a very interesting kite session that's going to come in from them. Take note, 2 followers are being used by Pencil here. So the potential corner may be the job for this, taking 1 hit from the first and then with the other. But let's see, it depends all on how Little Boy is going to transition from one turn to another. But Pencil here, I love it when he just goes and just goes for the patroller right here and comes with the second follower. Maybe the knockdown that's gonna come in from here. That's actually a pretty good job coming in from Pencil.
Oh man. Okay, here we go. That is going to be a chair. Finally, Pencil managing to get his first survivor, but at the same time, a lot of damage done by GH as far as Cypher progress. Might not have the real-time progress, but with just how things kind of play out. Oh, there you go. Gonna want to get that chomp onto Atari. Can't get it though. Oh, beautiful stun right there.
That was actually timely, and that was really good by that performance. And right now, again with the chase right here, so Pencil was able to spot out Hattori once again to where he is located at the moment. So Ty Turner, I think he's just waiting for it to wear out before he takes the hit. But that is going to be another stun from the follower here. Wow, a lot of stuns across the board by Little Boy here, really doing a good job in trying to got kite away, because look at the ciphers, 1 cipher remaining. Imagine that. So basically Captain Kun here was able to really wreak havoc with those ciphers. So as predicted with the draft earlier, Articuno, it's basically the cipher rush plan for the side of GH.
Okay, you know what's kind of scary here is that GH, they have a really good game plan. There's a level of patience that we're seeing, and I think one of those indications was that heal that we saw earlier onto Skyfall, wherein they know that one of the best ways to deal with the stream, which is they should not, under any circumstances, surrender Survivor. They want to try to keep those numbers as healthy as possible. Bonus points that these decoders were able to properly do their job. We did see some action on Prisoner, and we did see a takedown on the Mechanic Doll as well, but still, there's a lot of resources that GH still had to work with, and I think this is definitely going to cause problems for Pencil heading towards the late game. But hey, you know what? We've seen a lot of Dream Witches play under pressure, even when survivors reach a point where they're at fuller numbers this late into the game, so no hope lost just yet for Pencil here. Still very much feasible. Look at this, trying to go for it. Nice! Lincoln actually manages to close in for that first hit, but still, Pencil needs to keep up this pressure. He should not, under any circumstances, grant GH the opportunity to work on popping that last cipher, especially with these full numbers.
Yes, indeed. And right now, The last cipher is not yet prime, take note. So Pencil here may have the choice of going in for Hatari, but as you witnessed earlier, Hatari is also really giving a huge amount of time, and now it forces Pencil to just go and find the other members that is in the other side of the map right here. So we do see there is a certain, I think it was Captain Kun that was doing the decoding as well as the little boy here, so it is a matter of choice for Pencil to who he shall target first.
Yes. And oh my gosh, closing in onto Captain Kun, but the damage has been done. Look at this. There you have it. Pop of a hit comes in, but what's dangerous here is that GH, you know what? They're more than prepared. Even if one goes down, just comes down to pop in that last cipher. And they have options, by the way. This is why GH had such a good setup here with keeping the 4 members up. And there you go. That's the hit. But as he said, GH was more than prepared. It is game time. All 4 survivors still up and kicking. Mechanic, though, gonna be the most volatile of the 4 members. So that is who Pencil is going to try to focus on. And there you have it, folks. That is going to be the hit. But still, Pencil knows what's at stake. That's just 1 survivor taken. He knows that he can still go for 1 more as a dream. Which question is there enough time to try to put on that pressure? Or will Pencil have to contend himself with just securing Captain Kun? Because from what we're seeing here, big question. Can he though? That won't be the case. But at the end of the day, we see it there, folks. With the groundwork established, GH, we asked towards the start whether or not GH survivors can start to
great fight. So regardless of the outcome, I'm pretty sure both of them will be proud of what they have achieved so far in the IVC. And with that being said, Articuno, we are going to start it now with the round race second half, potentially a final, unless of course jinxed by me as we headed on to the game.
Oh man, this is it, folks. Make some noise in chat. Second half is in commencement, and God J is on the prowl. This is what we're talking about with the mirror image. Hitting 2 birds with 1 stone here, getting those hits in, not to mention covering ground, which is just so wide when you're on this map. And it looks like Wolfie just running for dear life here. And take note, that's the prisoner. A very optimal pickup should God J be able to get that first pick. Pallet will be dropped. Wolfie trying to buy as much time as possible, trying to gain as much distance from God J, but has to be careful because God J's mirror image is backed up. Tries to go for that first wipe. Second wipe is coming in. Beautiful shocking coming in from Wolfie, but it's all about trying to go for these jukes here. So far, has proved to be successful, and it looks like this Bloody Queen has had enough knowing that that mirror image was going to expire. So far, so good here for Wolfie. Unfortunately goes down as she was trying to go for that pallet, but you know what? It is all good.
I think in hindsight, yeah, God J may try to just stay in the area, not to be too far off, because again, his condition is to go for a tie, and if he manages to secure Wolfie right here, that's already -1 off his list. And just looking at Zhao Khan in the vicinity here, trying to wait for the perfect moment to strike. That's gonna be a stun right here. That's an excitement back there. But he missed the shot. He didn't, but he was able to go for the save.
Yes, IVS good salvage onto Wolfie right there. Last effort will come in, but unfortunately not enough distance. That Wolfie was able to. But you know what? All is good, in which case Zhao Khan already running for the kills. There you go. Distance established by Wolfie, just a bit right there. Looking at the progress, still decent for IVS. Now, God J, hellbent and intent on taking 1 survivor back to the manor.
And I think because God J is just, staying in this certain area here, this is where the other members try and take advantage of that cipher rush that they want to. Because again, they need to opt for at least a win 3-1 or a sweep. That's gonna be okay. That's gonna be a hit. We'll be going for the rescue, and of course, GodJ will still go for Wolfie. He does have a tight turner, so he can still buy some time. But let's see how things are gonna go, because right now GodJ is really on the hunt for Wolfie right now, using the mirror images right here. That's gonna be a last effort to be popped right now, and I think at this point Wolfie will be out of the table here, unless of course there is going to be a save that can come from Zhao Khan, who will be forced to use his football here, and I assume he doesn't have one anymore for a potential stun, because that's just a little amount of footballs there, so it might not do, or might not be enough to stun. But with that being said, Wolfie will be out of the table. That's going to be a teleport change for GodJ.
Yes, at this point in time, though, let's set the groundwork here. IVS, they cannot afford to lose out on another survivor. And in all fairness, they have a good start here. 3 ciphers, 1 more than halfway. But we also have to address the fact that there's still that 5th cipher, which needs a good setup. Wolfie bought enough time as they can, but it's going to be all on the rest of the members of IVS right now to try to keep these numbers healthy. It's going to be very tricky when you have someone that can start to establish a level of control, such as a Bloody Queen, especially when you're trying to aim for that half as GodJ, looking very much feasible. But trust IVS to try to keep their spirits up in this case, and the chase is on.
I like it how GodJ prioritized the mechanic right here. Really wants to deny any ciphers from up and coming. And the fact that Synthes is one of the viable target for GodJ to win that tie is really something that you have to consider. So look at this, trying to use the terrains as much as possible. No pallet stuns or whatever, just it's a turnaround right here. And for GodJ, that's a good knockdown against Synthes. And take note, the location, Articuno, is quite far. So, and the fact that Forward doesn't have any more footballs to work with, you have to consider that. So he uses the teleporter here. 1 cipher remaining, burrow effect or burrow mode, and we do see that Kurodonna here will be trying to go for the kiting session.
Yes! Of course, hitting 2 birds with 1 stone here, potentially, this Gravekeeper can pull off. Already within the vicinity where you can go for the save on the mechanic. So it's all a matter of how much time can be bought out. Not only that, but if Gravekeeper can make nutrition, because that's a lot of open space. There you have it. As I said, with that open space allows GodJ to get that initial hit, but this Gravekeeper already speeding it through. But that mirror image timing makes the Gravekeeper fall on mechanic. Tricky situation. Big question is, where is Zhao Khan? Can Zhao Khan dash in the nick of time? That might not be a possibility. Zhao Khan on the farther, super far part of the map, and GodJ is fully aware of this with the wiggle on that antenna. That's going to be a mechanic expiring. 2 survivors out of this game. 2 remain with that Gravekeeper already chaired. Now, it's all on Zhao Khan at this point. Was able to pop the cipher, but has to be careful of those hits. Mirror image has been popped. They're going to try to go for a pincer. Can GodJ go for it? Tries to go for that swipe. Swipe number 2 gets the hit. Zhao Khan as well. Ladies and gents, you have our winner. It is going to be G.